my god, I had audio in the background the whole— Ah! We'll do this again! We'll do it live! Hello everybody, Spectrus here, and we're finally back to continue What If Fortuneteller Baba Raised Goku, with part 3. I know it's been a long time since the last part, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of recap. Roshi and Chi-Chi were both killed by King Piccolo, who was then beaten by Goku using the Devil Might Beam. Piccolo Jr. was found by the Monster Squad, thusly he became much stronger and much more tame. When Raditz arrived, Spike and Goku both died to put him down. Then, King Yenma forced Spike to train in Hell instead of training with Goku at King Kai's. Luckily though, he did let Raditz keep his body to make sure Spike had a good training partner in Hell. And that's where we left off. If that wasn't enough to catch you up, or you just want more of the full details, be sure to go watch parts 1 and 2, which will be linked in the description and in the comments. That being said, if you end up enjoying the video, make sure you like it and subscribe to the channel. So, let's get started. With Goku and Spike dead and the Saiyans sent to arrive in 1 year, Kami thought it would be best for everyone to train on the lookout. Appa, however, decides that he doesn't really think it would be beneficial for him. He's gotten as strong as he wants to get, and at this point he just wants to live a peaceful life with his father. He'll continue training on his own, but really he's still just a kid.
I am a Christian man.
Chi-Chi, having already been a Z fighter beforehand, agrees to let Gohan train it, so long as she does as well. So now the group training on Kami's lookout consists of Krillin, Yamcha, Tenshinhan, Chaozu, Piccolo, Bandages, Fangs, Invisible Man, Chi-Chi, and Gohan. Overall, a much larger and stronger group than in canon, which will increase their gains substantially. Speaking of their gains, their power levels are now on screen. As for the ones who haven't trained on Kami's lookout, to find their boosts, Lytro simply took everyone else's boost and found the average. One other thing I want to point out about Gohan's training, he does train with the other warriors in Kami, but Baba is actually playing a crucial role in his said training. It isn't becoming a scholar that interests Gohan, or even being a fighter. He wants to become just like his grandma Baba, and so she helps him begin his journey towards becoming a wizard. This means that Gohan will be learning magic going forward. As for Goku's training and boost, he would make it to Snake Way much faster since he is much stronger. This gives him a lot more time to train, resulting in his boost growing as well. We'll save his power level reveal for later though. Spike and Raditz training would boost the two significantly. However, only Spike would be allowed back to Earth for obvious reasons. Spike and Raditz would hate each other at first, but grew to bond slightly, as Spike represented what Raditz could become if he reformed. Of course, Raditz had a significant edge in strength over Spike, and so it was very grueling and difficult training for him. As the two both grew in strength, Spike did so more, and while Raditz was still stronger by the end, Spike was far closer to his power than he was at the start. After all that time passed, Vegeta and Nappa has finally arrived on Earth. King Yenma reports to Spike the news, and they both wait for Goku so they can return together. Of course, the Z-Fighters wish Goku went back to life beforehand though. Our Z-Fighters and Monster Squad, currently being led by Yamcha, would notice the city being attacked. They would of course head to said city, where they would meet Vegeta and Nappa. Though suppressed, they do convince them to leave the area and head to somewhere more remote. Vegeta would ask Nappa to release the Saiban, in which he would do so. The Monster Squad, currently as Piccolo, Bandages, Fangs, and the Invisible Man, would take them on. Of course, since our group is far stronger, the four of them would easily wipe the floor with them. Vegeta would also comment about Invisible Man being the other power level that the scouters picked up, since he couldn't see him. The Saiban would be all killed. Nappa would state that Piccolo is a little less than he expected for a warrior Namekian. Everyone would of course be shocked by this, since Piccolo was supposed to be a demon or a monster. However, Bandages steps in saying it didn't matter what race he was, as Piccolo was still one of them. Vegeta then sends Nappa into battle. And this does not go well at all. Given that most of our group are stronger than Nappa, you can guess about how bad he's beaten. Vegeta sees this and decides to give him a bit of an edge. He uses the power ball, throwing it in the air but not looking at it. This means that only Nappa will transform. This gives Nappa a power level of 40,000 and easily far above any of the Z fighters. Piccolo decides to use a giant form to actually match Nappa in size. Of course, this doesn't increase his power, but a bigger punch is more likely to do something, and if not, it'll at least make for a good distraction while the others attack. You were right to put that in the script. That one's better. Despite having 10 warriors on the battlefield, this does not end up going very well for our Z fighters or the Monster Squad. Luckily though, Krillin seems to have a plan, but it won't work unless Nappa is distracted. Chaozu decides that he would be the best for this, and so he flies into the Azaru's face, firing Dodon rays into his eyes. This would infuriate the brute, leading to him grabbing Chaozu and beginning to crush him in his palm. Chaozu then decides to go out with a bang, sacrificing himself to at least do something in the face of his inevitable death. This last-ditch effort doesn't end up doing much but make Tenshinhan sad and angry though. But at least Krillin now has the opening he needed to unveil his new technique, the Destructo Disc. He throws it at Nappa's tail, cutting it off and reducing him to his base form. Tenshinhan then takes this and punches Nappa in his gut, launching him away before using a Dodon Ray to kill him. Vegeta sees this, and rather than being impressed with our heroes, he is instead unimpressed with Nappa, and so he decides to enter the fray in his comrade's place. Now, although Vegeta in base was weaker than Nappa's Azaru form, he was still a great threat to our fighters. He easily cuts through all their defenses and lands very critical blows on all of them, to the point where Chi-Chi is actually scared for her sons and her own life. Vegeta would be pummeling everyone and would go for a blast on Gohan, which Chi-Chi would try to take. However, the mother was not fast enough, and seeing no other way to save the boy's life, Piccolo would jump in the way. With this, he dies right in front of Gohan. Now, the two spent a little bit of time during their training together, but nothing like they did in canon. Piccolo did, however, still grow an attachment for the boy, considering how he and his father were really good friends, and Gohan was just like Goku. As Piccolo dies, Goku and Spike arrive on the battlefield. They have shown up a lot earlier in canon, and both get to witness the death of Piccolo. This is more of an impact on Spike and the Monster Squad than anyone else though, as they had basically raised Piccolo. But now the time for sadness is over. Goku raised up his power level of over 1200 and told all the others to leave. Then they did so with a little bit of hesitation. Now it was just Goku and Vegeta. However, the outcome of this fight became much more obvious. Goku with just a base Kaioken would be stronger than Vegeta, leading to him rarely even using ×3. Vegeta would begin to get angry and we would get the Gallic Gun Kamehameha wave clash like in canon. This time, though, Goku with just ×3 would be enough to completely decimate Vegeta. This leaves him with no other option than to look at the power ball he had thrown up a while back. As he transformed, his power skyrocketed, and Goku knew he just might be in trouble. That's when Spike returned along with everyone else though, ready to aid their friend. Goku charged a Spirit Bomb while his friends do the best they can to distract the Great Ape. Ultimately, Vegeta grows even closer to Goku and is finally about to crush him. However, our team is not going to let that happen, with Bandages using his wrappings to wrap Vegeta's tail up, pulling it back. Unfortunately, Vegeta reveals that his tail is no longer a weakness for him, and uses his foot to crush Bandages. Everyone was outraged by the death of yet another one of their people. Spike thought of using the Devil Might Beam, but knew it wouldn't work against such a great power. Gohan then brought up a good point. What if they destroyed the Power Ball? Of course, this seemed dumb at first. Vegeta would obviously protect it. However, that's when Tenshinhan stepped in, ready to make his sacrifice. The group accepts this, and he flies towards Vegeta, who has now succeeded in grabbing Goku. Tenshinhan uses the solar flare to blind Vegeta, since as an Azaru he would have much bigger eyes. This would make them easy targets for his techniques. However, it would also make him an easy target for Vegeta. Using a technique he had learned from Baba, Gohan creates a blanket. He then supercharges with his ki. He throws it at the Power Ball and forces it to wrap around it. This completely blocks it out. And as Vegeta is recovering from blindness, he attacks Tenshinhan. He, however, isn't going to go out by just getting attacked. Instead, he charges up a full power tri-beam to keep Vegeta distracted long enough for Gohan to finish. This did indeed distract Vegeta, leading to him smacking Tenshinhan as he fell out of the air. Once he hit the ground, the three-eyed warrior closed his eyes with all of his friends surrounding him. He finally passed away to the other world. Back to Gohan, with the distraction fully formed, he makes the ki charged blanket explode. Since it was fully wrapped around, the explosion completely consumes the Power Ball, leading to its destruction. Vegeta realizes this and screams out in anger as he reverts into his base form. Everyone cheers Gohan, making him know that the choice that he had made in his life was the right one. With all the damage Goku and the rest of the team have done so far, it should make an easy win for our heroes. Goku gives the Spirit Bomb to Spike, who then throws it at Vegeta. However, the Prince dodges to everyone's shock. Luckily though, Invisible Man came in with the save, smacking it back at Vegeta. Nobody saw this coming since he was invisible, leading to the Prince laughing in victory before being consumed by the blast. He now lies on the ground completely defeated. Both our Monster Squad and the Z Fighters want him dead. However, Goku does not. Although he is much more serious, he does still have a code to keep getting stronger. Next time, he will be the one to beat Vegeta on his own. Everyone concedes to this, then escape having taken a massive loss. Our heroes celebrate their victory, although Spike is unsure if his ally had just made the right decision. Chi-Chi and Gohan were happy to finally see Goku, although he was heavily injured. However, thanks to Yajirobe not ever meeting Korin in our timeline, and thusly never eating all the senzu beans, there are plenty of them left. This means that everyone takes one and is automatically healed. Krillin then says that he has an idea, and that they should go to Namek, Piccolo's home planet, to see if they have Dragon Balls as well. Otherwise, they won't be able to bring Piccolo, Kami, Tenshinhan, Chaozu, or Bandages back. Everyone accepts this, and our trail into the Namek Saga has begun. And that's where we're going to leave off for part 3. Hopefully you all enjoyed what happened in the Saiyan Saga and are excited to see any changes going forward. Gohan has now become somewhat of a wizard, so that should be interesting upon further development. Maybe we can explore the gap between Goku and Spike a little bit that has now just formed. But anyway, make sure to subscribe and like the video if you did enjoy and want to see more. Spectrus out!